a power, and those too weak to seek it. Together, we'll do extraordinary things. Just give me the stone.
You liar! I am Harry Potter. For 11 years I was told I was just an ordinary boy, living in the cupboard under the stairs at my aunt and uncle's house. The Dursleys, my Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia and Cousin Dudley, never let me forget that I was a freak, a burden they never wanted. My life was unremarkable until those strange letters began to arrive. The Dursleys desperately tried to keep them from me, even fleeing to a hut on a rock in the sea. Then, at midnight on my 11th birthday, everything changed. With a thunderous crash, the door of our cabin was knocked down. Standing there was the largest man I had ever seen, Rubeus Hagrid. He told me something incredible.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Potter, a wizard. My parents hadn't died in a car crash as I'd been told, but were murdered by a dark wizard called Voldemort. And I was the only person ever to survive his killing curse, making me famous in the wizarding world. In that moment, a feeling I'd never experienced before washed over me. I finally knew who I was. I wasn't the Dursleys' freak anymore. I belonged somewhere else. Still, my mind was filled with questions. Why me? Why did Voldemort want to kill my parents? What did this lightning-shaped scar really mean? Hagrid took me to Diagon Alley. My God, I'd never seen anything like it. Every shop, every item filled me with excitement. Wands, cauldrons, spellbooks, it was all real. At Gringotts, I discovered the vault my parents had left me. I had an inheritance. I wouldn't need to wear Dudley's old clothes anymore. At Ollivander's wand shop, the wand that chose me emitted golden sparks. Yet Mr. Ollivander seemed troubled. He told me my wand shared its core with Voldemort's. This left me confused and uneasy. Did I really want any connection to the man who murdered my parents? At King's Cross Station, I couldn't find platform 9 3/4. As anxiety washed over me, I met the Weasley family. The red-haired woman, Mrs. Molly Weasley, kindly helped me. Her son, Ron, quickly became my friend. As the Hogwarts Express began to move, my emotions were a tangled mess. Excited yet nervous, hopeful yet afraid. This was my first time away from the Dursleys, my first chance to find somewhere I truly belonged. On the train, I met a talkative girl, Hermione Granger, and a boy who kept losing his toad, Neville Longbottom. I also encountered Draco Malfoy, who reminded me of Dudley, arrogant and entitled. When he insulted Ron, I didn't hesitate to refuse his outstretched hand. I'd had enough of bullies. Hogwarts Castle was breathtaking. Countless candles, moving portraits, ghosts floating through the Great Hall. During the sorting ceremony, my heart raced. The sorting hat whispered that I would do well in Slytherin, but I had only one thought, not Slytherin. In the end, the hat placed me in Gryffindor, alongside Ron. In that moment, with deafening cheers around me, I felt a sense of belonging I'd never experienced before. School life was full of wonders. In charms, feathers floated when I uttered Wingardium Leviosa. In transfiguration, Professor McGonagall transformed herself into a cat. In potions, Professor Snape seemed to harbor an inexplicable hostility toward me, always singling me out. His black eyes seemed to pierce my soul, sending chills down my spine. During flying lessons, something unexpected happened. Malfoy stole Neville's Remembrall, and without thinking, I mounted a broomstick and pursued him. I was flying purely on instinct, yet it felt so natural, as if I was born to be in the sky. Instead of punishing me, Professor McGonagall put me on the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Wood told me my father had been an excellent Quidditch player, filling me with immense pride. On Halloween, a troll broke into the castle. Ron and I risked our lives to save Hermione, and from that day forward, the three of us became inseparable. For the first time, I felt the power of friendship, the warmth of being truly cared for. During our days at Hogwarts, we discovered a secret. The school housed the legendary Philosopher's Stone, capable of producing the elixir of life. We suspected Snape wanted to steal it for Voldemort. The three-headed dog, Fluffy, guarded the entrance to the stone in the third-floor corridor, adding danger to our explorations. I received a special Christmas gift, my father's invisibility cloak. Wearing it, I could explore the castle's secrets. One night, I discovered the Mirror of Erised and saw my parents and family reflected in it. Dumbledore explained that the mirror only showed one's deepest desires. In that moment, I truly realized what I had lost. My eyes filled with tears, yet I felt a strange comfort. When we became certain someone was going to steal the stone, we decided to act ourselves. Beyond the trapdoor, we faced a series of challenges: Devil's Snare, Flying Keys, a giant chessboard, and Snape's potion riddle. Ron bravely sacrificed himself in the Wizard's Chess Challenge. Hermione stayed to care for him, and I faced the final challenge alone. To my shock, waiting there wasn't Snape, but the stuttering Professor Quirrell. Even more horrifying, Voldemort's face was attached to the back of his head. When I saw that snake-like face, my scar burned with intense pain, but I struggled to remain calm. Voldemort wanted the Philosopher's Stone, which had mysteriously appeared in my pocket. He tried to tempt me, saying he could bring my parents back, but I knew it was a lie. When Quirrell tried to grab me, his skin burned at my touch. Dumbledore later told me this was because of my mother's protective magic. Her sacrifice for me had created a powerful shield. Waking in the hospital wing, Dumbledore informed me the Philosopher's Stone had been destroyed. Our adventure earned Gryffindor the House Cup, and as the red and gold banners waved in the Great Hall, I felt an overwhelming sense of pride. As the school year ended, the Hogwarts Express carried us back to the Muggle world. Though I had to return to the Dursleys, I knew it was only temporary. I now had friends, a place where I belonged. I am Harry Potter, a wizard, and my story was just beginning. On the platform, Ron and Hermione bid me farewell. Ron promised to invite me to stay at his home for part of the summer, filling me with anticipation. As I pushed my trolley through the barrier back to the Muggle world, I remembered Uncle Vernon once saying, "There's no such thing as magic," and I couldn't help but smile. They had no idea I had just experienced an extraordinary journey, and it was only the beginning. I, Harry Potter, had finally found my place in the world of magic.